Hello, it's Dr. B again, and this time I'm bringing chapter 8 to you today. Just to be more formal, I'm Dr. Madeline Boskowitz. I'm the author of I Want to Be Me, but I Don't Know Who I Am, a guidebook for teens and young adults, as well as, let me just show it to you, I Want to Be Me workbook, also by myself, a companion book to the first volume. It just came out this week. So chapter 8. Chapter 8 is a very exciting chapter, partly because we're getting towards the end of the book, but because it itself is very exciting. So it's called Identifying Your Wishes, Follow Your Dreams. And this is a challenging chapter because I think many people feel that dreams are not okay, but hopefully you will be willing to listen to me, and I will read you a little bit of the introduction to that chapter, and then we'll go through the exercises. So in the last chapters, you've been learning how to manage yourself, your emotions, your behavior, your need for help. Now it's time to manage your dreams. Everyone has dreams. Maybe only one, maybe several. They are very important. They're essential. That means that we really can't live without them. And you may say, well, I don't have a dream, but listen to me, okay? Dreams give us energy and direction. To reach our dreams, we need to identify goals. So when we are healthy and when we are positive, and I realize that many people are not, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but with some positiveness, we are always reaching toward the goal. Sometimes it's a tiny daily goal, like getting your homework done, spending time with friends, practicing a sport, scoring a goal or a basket, even getting your chores done. That can be a goal. All these are goals, of course, with bigger dreams, and here we're going to talk about big dreams, dreams that guide our life, that give our life meaning and direction. And this is why I talk about being positive, because I do realize that many teens and young adults do not feel positive, do not feel that they have meaning and direction in their life. And so if that is the case, you're not stuck there. There is no reason that you have to stay there. I would want to encourage you to go back in time and to remember the time when you had dreams, when you were younger. And maybe you packed them up really carefully, maybe to protect them, maybe because people discouraged you and told you, well, that's just kid stuff. You know, dreams don't come true. That's not realistic. Stop being a dreamer. And yet these are the worst things that you can hear because your little voice, that good parent, that little voice will tell you, you need a dream, you need a goal, you need to have a prize at the end of, where you can see and reach for. We all do. It gives us energy, it gives us life. So I'm going to encourage you. And in the chapter, I say, even if I only encourage one person, that will be already great. I will be thrilled. So I'm going to encourage you to kind of take a peek at that old dream and to think about it. Maybe it still would be a dream for today, maybe not. We can change over time. I have changed quite a bit over time. As a fact, my writing time now is my fourth main dream. And I'm not even including having children and raising them. That was a very separate dream, but one which I have accomplished, as I've shared many times with you in the book. There are many dreams, and then we can have many dreams. And when we have one that is the major dream that gives us direction, that we're working towards on a daily basis there, even with a tiny little steps of every day, or, just working tiny little bites of a bigger goal. It's good to have a dream. It keeps us on track. It gives us direction, and it gives us energy to move on. And I think when we say we don't have a dream, that's not really true. We do, whether we are working towards it or not. Maybe sometimes people feel defeated and feel, well, that was my dream, but it's hopeless. Well, it's never hopeless. Now, it's not easy to find the dream and to reach for it. Nobody said it was. In fact, the energy that you have from having a dream is what will give you the energy to work towards it. And remember in the previous chapters when I talked about anger and how the emotions give us energy, well, we can have what we call mental energy as well when we're working towards a goal. So, there are all kinds of dreams, and it can be a dream of, I'm writing many youths have dreams about being a doctor, a nurse, or a lawyer. And there are ways to get there. There are ways to get part-time summer jobs, to get to know the field, to get to know people. Many teens are interested in sports as a career, and this is very encouraged by the schools. And these teens know that they must have as much training as possible. And when they're devoted to their goal, to their dream, they make time for that and they stay on track with wanting to be good at the sport that they're interested in. Some teens have different dreams, such as making money in business. Sometimes they know what kind of business they want to go into. Maybe it's a family business, maybe it's a friend's, maybe it's a neighbor or somebody they really respect. It's easy to work with people already engaged in those kinds of businesses. And even if it's not a paying job, you're just hanging around to get introduced, that's okay. There are after school and community programs that help teens explore what they want to do and choose dreams and goals. And I want to repeat again that what you choose today or what you work on today is wonderful, but it's also flexible. Over time, you may change. A dream may need different direction than you want to take. Or you may need to have a roundabout way to get there, which is what always happened to me. So what I was saying, say you want to be a doctor, and that's an enormous enterprise, of course. And it takes a long time to become a doctor, but it's a very wonderful and rewarding career. And you probably can hear that had been one of my dreams as well. And, for some children or teens, it's very easy to be in, well, not very easy, but it's doable to be in high school, to get the grades they need, to go to college, to become pre-med, to work very methodically, step by step, towards going to medical school and going on to becoming a doctor. For some others, it's a very different path because they can't afford to just go straight on to college. Though if they're lucky, they'll get scholarship money. But let's say you can't afford to go straight on to college, but nothing would keep you from, say, starting at the bottom, as it were. Get your high school diploma and get a job in a hospital. You'll be in the midst of the world you want to know about and you want to be in. You may even get help with tuition, taking classes towards a college degree. That would really move you forward towards your goal. Once you're in college, then you can get the grades to apply to medical school. Or you may decide that there are other goals that are more important. You may decide to go into nursing or to become a physician assistant, which doesn't take as much time. And there you may decide, well, that's good enough because now you really want to have a family and raise children, or not, or maybe you have an elderly parent who needs you. There are always things that get into the way. That's chapter 9. You will see. Next chapter, we'll talk about how to stay on track even when things get in the way, because they always do. So, but let's say you're raising children, but you still want to go to medical school. That's doable too. And nobody can tell you that you cannot do it. I think I share in the guidebook that, unfortunately, I was discouraged from my goal of becoming a medical researcher when I was in high school. And unfortunately, I listened to that discouragement. So partially because I respected my father's opinion, I felt he was right. I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to find the information I needed, which happens to many people, particularly immigrants like me. But now there are so many more ways to get the information you need. And this book is here to help you, to tell you, get the information you need. You can go and ask around. Go ask, remember chapter 7. Go ask everybody. Ask at school, ask in the community, go online, go to the library, find out what there is to find out. It's work. Well, of course it's work, but when you decide that you're worth that work, you're worth that success, that's up to you. The thing is that the roads are there. And one of the images I use, when we're standing at a crossroads and looking at all the street signs, and kind of helps to know which way we want to go. Or we might just take, haphazardly a street and see where it goes, which is okay too. Some people like to go to school waiting to see what will happen to them, not to go to school, to go through life, just waiting to see what will happen to them. And that's okay. That is okay. I use the image in the chapter of, some people are like water, and that forms a river in a valley and just meanders between the hills and just follows whatever path comes, is allowed to it. Or it can become a torrent and forge its own path right through the landscape, and it's using its speed and its strength to do that. And so there are people of both kinds. And then if you are one kind at one time, you can be the other kind. You are not committed for life. And even when you reach a dream, if it turns out to not be really what you were expecting. I was reading a comment from a friend very recently that she had worked very hard to reach her goal, which happened to be becoming a doctor, and then had decided that she really wasn't sure that that's where she wanted to be. It was great working towards it, and she's proud to have reached it, but now she doesn't know. And I'm hoping for her that she will take the time to allow herself to decide whether to stay with it for now or to change, to find a different path. It's okay. You can change your dream. So in fact, it's better to change your dream to suit you if it doesn't seem to be suiting you. I want to add a little piece here, which I'm going to try to add to the earlier tape that I made. This is about the issue of this friend who is now having second thoughts or feeling discouraged about being a doctor, even though this had been a very important dream that was also very difficult to achieve. I got to thinking that a lot of times people will say, well, I've already put so much work into it and I can't quit now or change my mind now. So I'm stuck. I think this is a poor, how to put it, a poor way of thinking, because this woman is young. She's in her mid-30s. So does it make sense to be stuck for the rest of her life, say another 35 years, to practice medicine that she may come to hate? And or say, okay, well, this was a great experience, but now I want to do something else. Maybe write books, maybe go into politics and change the things that don't work well in medicine, maybe teach, maybe work on policy making for the medical field. There are all kinds of other options to take, and even if she becomes a writer or an artist, she has not lost what she did. We never lose what we've already done. And this is how I've come to be on my fourth career. And that's okay. I'm very happy with it. That's the main goal, to feel that you are where you want to be. So let me talk now about the workbook. We did enough philosophy here, but the workbook. So the workbook helps you to identify your dreams. And if you don't have one now, did you have one when you were younger? What was it? Did you share it? How did others react? Were you encouraged? Were you discouraged? Were you made fun of or criticized? Were were told like me that it would never happen, it was impossible? Were you given reasons? I was given reasons. They weren't very good reasons, but anyway, it does happen. Even in the best of families, with people with the best of intentions, they want to protect you from disappointment. My father did not want me to be working hard towards something that he felt would never be possible for me. So that made sense, but he was wrong. It would have been possible. And it's unfortunate that I didn't find out. So what about now? Do you still have a dream, or maybe a new dream? Does it fit you? Is it worth working for? Do you believe in yourself? Do you have the courage to fight for it? Well, dreams take work. What kind of work will it take? So I ask you to kind of list goals that are necessary towards a dream, let's say. And so one of the examples is order the steps required to become a teacher. And I'm going to give them to you in order here, or maybe just show you as a share screen. Give me one moment. I will share the screen here. Let me share. Can you see that? We're going to move on to a couple of pages. So just like this, make your dream real. So let's just say you want to become a teacher. So look at the steps here. So what order, which one is the first one? Which one is, you have to put them in order, that's the challenge. So let's look at them. Take college entrance exam, do 2 years of student teaching, do well in high school. That might be the first one. Graduate college, get teaching license, graduate high school, maybe that's early on too. In college, concentrate on subject you want to teach, take education skills courses. Okay, so I think first one is do well in high school so that you qualify for college, and then graduate high school, and then take the college entrance exam. Okay, one doesn't just walk into college. Usually you have to take an exam, or at least you used to. I don't know if you still do. So that's step number 3. In college, concentrate on subject you want to teach. Take education skills courses as well. So you might want to do both of these at the same time, and then you want to graduate college. And I think somewhere do 2 years of student teaching. Well, usually you do these before you graduate. So let's put that before graduating. So then graduate from college and then get the teaching license, which a lot of times takes an examination again. So there's quite a bit of work to become a teacher, and many people do it. It's doable. How about to become an auto mechanic? There are fewer steps. So let's look at them. Get summer jobs in a garage or auto repair shop, go to mechanic school, get a high school diploma or GED, volunteer to help in an auto repair shop. So which one? The first one, I'm thinking you'd want to volunteer in an auto repair shop just to see what it's like, see if you're good at it, if you like it, if you enjoy it, if you get to meet people who will give you a job later or recommend you. Get a high school diploma or GED if you're no longer in high school. I forgot, get summer jobs in a garage or auto repair job if you can, auto repair shop if you can. And then once you have your GED or your high school diploma, go to mechanic school to become an expert mechanic. They get paid quite well. And, one other step, which I'd want to become an instructor yourself. A lot of times people like doing that, teaching it in a mechanic school, in a school for mechanics. So setting goals for yourself. Name your biggest dream for a goal for yourself. And then maybe try to list them in order of how you know. And you can make mistakes, it's okay. And where are you on your path? What's next? Be patient with yourself. Dreams often take a lifetime to achieve, but in the end, well, that doesn't sound right. Dreams are often a lifetime endeavor, in meaning that you work at them your whole life. So you're just at the very beginning. Sometimes there are a lot of steps to get to your goal. Sometimes you must change your path along the way. Determination and perseverance, stick to it and stick to it. And have your mind made. Determination means having your mind made up. Perseverance is sticking to it. They make the dreams happen. Without them, dreams remain dreams. Remember, it's never too late to make a dream happen. And I'm the proof because I just started writing a few years ago. So staying on your path takes effort every single day. And then I'm offering you ways to, I remind you to praise yourself for everything that you accomplish, even if you don't finish all the items on the list. So I'm encouraging you, and give you an example. I encourage you to create a lot of grown-ups do make lists of what they need to get done. So I gave you one example that was the example when I was writing the example, and I invited you to list your goals for today. And then you may want to list the goals for the next week, for the week after that, or maybe for the next month, or the next semester. So as we get older, there are more and more, we can see more into the future, what will need to be done. Let's say, your goals for the next month, maybe to get some papers written for whatever classes, but your goals for the semester will be to prepare for an exam, or to prepare for, let's say you're in high school, you want to prepare for the college entrance exam. And and another thing would be to get reference letters, to recommendations for college, write your college essay. It's a whole process to go to college. And I don't really cover it here. There are many books that do cover it. So, and as you go along here, I want to go back for a minute to that paragraph. Don't forget to praise yourself for what you accomplish, even if you don't finish all the items on the list. You might even like to keep the list to track what you have accomplished. Don't forget to go back to the identity scale and the behavior scale and check on your progress. How are you meeting your personal goals? How do you feel about yourself? It's always good to check in with yourself. I would say at least once a week. And I've talked with you about the app before, and the app will be coming out in the future and will help you make lists and keep your lists and also check in with yourself. So I shared that your dreams are your private property, and it's important to protect them, partly by sharing them with people who will be encouraging and will help you towards your dreams. But if you need also to be ready to have people who will discourage you or even try to sabotage you. I gave some examples of things that happened to me with classmates who were jealous of my success in an experiment, with family members who always got in the way, even with kind of mean teachers who were out to get me for whatever reason. I think most was a racial prejudice. It's time to look at your experience. Have you had the strength to withstand anyone that tries to discourage you? Still keeping going. it's important to overcome those obstacles of people who try to get in your way. It's important to be careful to avoid problems, but it's also, since a lot of problems are not avoidable, as you probably know, I know a lot of people live with a lot of injustice. So, problems are not avoidable. And it is up to you to keep your strength up to overcome those problems. Anyway, I'm encouraging you to journal, to write things down and just leave you empty space. And that will be in the app too, so that you could jot down thoughts and ideas and feelings about what's going on with you with the app. And, the app will be on your phone and you will be able to do it whenever, the moment is there. So let me stop share and come back to you. And so this chapter, I think, ends up being quite long. I may end up having to cut it in two like I've done in the past, but I shall see when it's finished. I'm going to try not to, since it handles the whole chapter in one time. It may just be a longer talk this time, maybe half hour or 45 minutes, maybe. And then you can always cut it in two for yourself if you like. So I was glad to share this chapter 8 with you about your dreams and how to follow your dreams, set your goals, and find the energy to keep going. And it's always one day at a time. You have all your life to get things where you want to go, or get things the way you want them. So good luck with everything. And I will be doing chapter 9 very shortly. Thank you. Bye-bye.